going now to the citizens' comment portion of the presentation. I know there are some citizens.
Yes, Mr. Director. We have 3 citizen comments. I think the first one is Mr. Carlos Garcia.
Perfect.
Mr. Doug Kostowski is another request. If you can state your name and address for the record. Thank you.
Kostowski, 10707 Southwest 104th Street, Miami 33176. I'm in the Killian Professional Village. I have a travel agency there called Travel People. And I am a neighbor whose office overlooks the recently opened intersection at Killian and the Don Shula. And what I'm doing this, with your permission, Board, is requesting some accountability for the problems in this new intersection. It's an engineering nightmare that's created a monstrous roadway for our citizens. We have impossible turn lanes, improper signage, confusing mergers, and forced U-turns. Specifically, there are now 4 lanes on westbound Killian that are divided by a concrete barrier. Where in all of Dade County would you see anything like that? A neighbor just picked me up and wanted to show me what he considers the greatest problem in this intersection, and that is when you're coming westbound on Killian, you see a sign that says 107th Avenue North, exit only. And as soon as you take that, you go up over a rise and you're confronted with 4 lanes, 2 going straight, 2 going right. What you see in a problem like this is that the people driving have to execute at highway speeds and negotiate with split-second decision-making what they're going to do. Is that just a problem? It's a huge problem. Since it opened in August 1st, we have seen 85 accidents with police reports. 85. As a neighbor whose office overlooks this intersection, I have personally witnessed 20 accidents and have photographs. Who knows how many unreported fender benders occur day and night when no one is on the scene. We know this, that in 2 months there have been over 100 verifiable accidents in this interchange. Law enforcement is now on duty to try to make a bad situation better. In my neighborhood, and I'm a Kendale resident, there are 4 highway patrol units on duty 13 hours a day, 7 days a week, just to keep people from making illegal U-turns who have been confused by this new traffic pattern. In addition, there's a full-time highway patrol on top of the intersection trying to stop people from turning left or right where they cannot do this. You do the math. 13 hours a day, 5 units, 7 days a week, 2 months, at maybe what, $50 an hour conservatively? $200,000. Who's paying for this? Where's the money coming from? Is it tax revenue? Is this what the tolls are that we're paying for? And so my question is just, could we have some accountability? Could we have some improvements? And for someone who's lived right there for 30 years, wondering how this new interchange would benefit the community and millions of dollars spent to do it, maybe we need to redo the do-over. Any question?
Board members, are there any questions for Mr. Kostowski? I know that there is a report that I believe that staff has looked into some of these inquiries, and I believe it's going to be part of the director's report. So a lot of the comments that you're addressing, Mr. Kostowski, and I appreciate you coming up here today, hopefully will be addressed by our executive director and the engineering team that's looked into a lot of these issues that you've raised. I believe there's also a lieutenant here from the Florida Highway Patrol that is familiar with this intersection and with the issues that you've presented. And we'll go ahead and we'll address as part of the Executive Director's report. Go ahead, Mr. Signage.
I just want to know if the gentleman speaking has a copy of this photograph.
No.
Of the new patterns, yes.
You have this with you?
No,
You have
sir.
this?
Yes, I have it with me.
Well, okay.
No, sir. The safety report has been made available today, so it will be made available to the citizens today.
Excellent. So, where could you get a copy of that report, Mr. Oh, you just gave him the report?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
great, excellent. Thank you, Mr. Kostowski.
Thank you.
Who is the next
Mr.
gentleman?
Carlos Garcia.
Good afternoon, Board. Carlos Garcia with the grassroots group rollbacktolls.com. As Mr. Kostowski has just mentioned, the situation in Kendale with this intersection, there are some severe problems there. I travel through that intersection every day, literally every day, sometimes 3 times a day. And I have actually seen a lot of the accidents, taken pictures and taken video of a lot of the accidents. Our group has some layman ideas, some common ideas that I think that we would like to suggest to the board and to the executive director to see if there's something that from this maybe some better information can come out of it so that some improvements and corrections can indeed be made. One of the issues that we are noticing is the lack of communication with the community about these drastic changes in the intersection. We'd like to see better communications regarding that beyond the the 500-foot minimum surrounding the direct area of the project. There's people that use that intersection that are coming all the way from Chrome going through the intersection. I come from 127th Avenue in Southwest 120th Street and travel through there 2 or 3 times a day. I have not received a robocall. I have not received a postcard in the mail. The signage is an issue that Mr. Kostowski touched upon. There's some immediate problems with the signs that can be corrected. But 2 of the main points that we want to make and some suggestions that we would like to make to the board are 2 points that we feel that would have a direct impact almost immediately. And that is, the first one, the reopening of the left turn onto Killian Parkway to allow traffic that is now only allowed to go to the right or east towards Kendale Boulevard to turn left as it has been for over 30 years. We feel that one adjustment will immediately solve the problem of all the U-turns in the adjacent Kendale community. Also, it would provide a relief valve in case the new ramp or the new exit is backed up or there's an accident that is preventing people from having good traffic flow onto Killian or north on 107th Avenue. And we feel that's important. Something that I think with just some minimal timing light adjustments, that could be reinstated, that left turn westbound on Killian. The second thing that we'd like to bring up is cameras. We don't see any cameras at that intersection. If MDX is very concerned or really concerned about gathering information, as I know that they are, where are the cameras? Today it's commonplace to use cameras everywhere, and we don't see a single camera in that intersection. We feel there's really no excuse to not have a camera there to gather information, to see how the flow is affecting the traffic from the 874 as well. So I think that you're already set up for that, and I think that would be a common sense thing that a lot of people are asking for and are expecting. And those are my points. Do you have any questions for me at all, or comments?
Are there any questions or comments from Mr. Garcia? Mr. Wortman?
Sorry. I do have a question. You said a left turn onto Killian from which direction?
From the old exit, the one that goes under the 874, that loops around. That's been like that. Either they used to allow you to make a left or a right turn to go right towards Kendale Boulevard, or left to go west on Killian. That lane has been closed to a right only, and that is what's causing all the U-turns in the adjacent Kendale community. Hence, Mr. Kostowski has mentioned the 5 police officers stationed there 13 hours a day. You know, tearing up the lawns, people knocking over garbage cans, mailboxes. There's some of the neighbors we've talked to have actually seen reports in their front yard, accidents in their front yards, things of that nature. So, if MDX was to reopen that left turn, we feel that a lot of those problems would almost disappear instantly.
Thank you.
Any questions from the board members? Mr. Garcia, I wanted to just 2 things. I mean, first of all, and to Mr. Kostowski, I really thank you both for coming, because, I mean, number one for this agency, besides besides moving people efficiently and increasing mobility, is safety. I mean, that's really number one. I mean, there's no sense in, you could get to people real quick if you have an accident. I mean, so that is our top priority, and hopefully the executive director could address that. And number 2, I do want to thank you for something, because I can tell you, I'm an attorney. I do a lot of public hearings, and I do a lot of zoning work. So a lot of the times I have you know, people from the audience come up and speak, mostly against my applications. But you've come forward and you've actually expressed you know, some solutions to a problem, and I commend you for taking the time, and maybe there's something that we could implement. I'm not sure, but at least you came up with trying to come up with a solution for this. So I really do thank you for your time.
Thank you.